bam, bam, bam. You get the sweet acapella ending to that one today. What's going on, everybody? What is going on? It is Wednesday, November 23rd. And I hope you're doing well. We got Thanksgiving in the United States tomorrow. Real quick, before I get into everything, don't forget wilddinosaur.com. It's the best place to support this channel. I got cool stuff there, like these tote bags. These are really, really solid tote bags, and you get color choices on the handles. It's like red, yellow, and black. They're super durable. I've been using these for over a year now, I believe. I have like 3 or 4 of them that I rotate through. I keep in my car. Take to the store with me, you know. Roll up, put in my back pocket. Keep it in my back pocket. Keep it in my pocket. What do I keep in my pocket? I keep my tote bags in my pocket for when I go to the store. So yeah, check out wilddinosaur.com. It really, really is helpful when you guys go look through the website and check out all the links that are in there. There's music, links to video stuff. If you're on the if you're watching this live, you're probably already on the YouTube channel, which, by the way, if you're watching this and you're not subscribed, please do me a big favor and subscribe. Then go check out wilddinosaur.com and check out some cool stuff there. Oh, yeah, my shirt is... That's one of mine. This is from my store. This one is... what did I call this one? Space Face or something? I don't know. I make up weird names for my art. Anyways, that's one of my shirts. I might actually put it in order for myself here pretty soon because I might need some new t-shirts. Anyways, you guys should go check it out. See what kind of stuff is going on. It's the holiday season. You need some gifts. You need a t-shirt. You need a sweatshirt. You need a tote bag. Socks. Is it cold where you're at? Do you need socks? I'm in Southern California, and I very rarely wear socks. But I have a pair of my own socks, and they're great. They're really great. So, yeah, go check it out. Let me know what you think. So I mentioned, and if you're already aware, in the United States, sorry, open up that a little bit. Here in the United States, tomorrow is Thanksgiving. It's the day we celebrate giving thanks. And then quickly committing genocide. That's typically how Thanksgiving, historically, how it's gone in the past. So I hope everybody has a good Thanksgiving, and I know things are crazy in the world right now. Let's not do genocide. Genocide's not fun. Let's leave that in the past. For all things. Not just, Europeans and natives. There's more now. There's more people to be aware and take care of. There's so many marginalized communities in today's climate. So let's not do dumb stuff, and let's not go after other people. What's the point? What's the point of all that? We don't get anywhere that way. So yeah. Don't be a dick. That's a rule I try to live by. I don't think it. Don't know if it always works, but it's a good rule to try to live by. Don't be a dick. Don't be a dick. Anyways, what do I have today? Oh yeah, I was bringing up Thanksgiving. Sorry, I was skipping some steps here. I brought up Thanksgiving because it's a holiday. I don't usually stream on Thursdays currently, anyways, in my current schedule. But I'm gonna take Friday off, and I think I'm lumping it into a holiday thing. But This next week is when all of my final stuff is due. I actually had to miss one of my classes yesterday because I've just been getting headaches. Story of my life. I should do I don't know what to say about it, but I've been getting migraines my whole life, and they suck. So I missed out on luckily the class that I'm doing, there's like a presentation aspect, and then there's the like written part of it, and I'll still be able to present next week, but I think the written part of it is the most important part. But I also need to officially turn in a second draft on my script, which actually wouldn't be a second draft for me. It'd be like a fourth or fifth or something like that. So I need to get this done by Monday and Tuesday are my classes. So I need to get those done. So I'm going to take Friday off. So I apologize if you're looking forward to a Friday show. I also don't have any more live jams done. Those I will do again at some point, but it's not in the cards for, I don't know, maybe the next month or two. We'll see. I'll keep you posted on the live stuff. And maybe I'll do some actual, instead of edited stuff, maybe I'll do some live jam stuff, because I did solve that problem. I got multiple. I'm still getting that error message. I'm looking at it right now from YouTube that there's more audio channels than 2. I don't care. You guys still hear me fine. But what that means is that I think I have 4 channels set up. Something like that. So I can plug in a couple of pieces of gear. Maybe I'll plug in a drum machine and a synthesizer or something. Or maybe a drum machine and a guitar. That actually sounds really fun. But yeah, I'll try to get in something like that here pretty soon. The other thing, oh my god, what's up? I'm getting, what is this? At xxx.fun. My private photo here. Oh, really? Why don't you just post it in the chat? Well, thanks for joining XXXFun, at XXXFun. I'm sure my mom would love to meet you. Just, send those pictures our way. Let's see what's going on. Anyways, that's weird. It's only showing up on OBS. It's not showing up on the back end on YouTube, which is funny. Anywho. What was I saying? Going back to not doing a show Friday, school stuff. Shoot. I was going somewhere until these, I see the thing about these private photos is I don't know if they're, dick pics, are they boobs? What's going on here? I mean, no judgment either way. Let's just be a little bit more upfront about what it is, My private photos here. Yeah. What kind of private photos? Are they like in a church? Are these private photos something you took while flying over a no-fly zone? Are they things I'm not allowed to see? What's going on? Or are they, private? These photos were only allowed were VIP access at a club. They got bottle service. Is that what you mean by your private photos? It's still weird. I'm not seeing them on the YouTube end. I see them streaming, but I don't see them coming in on the back end on YouTube. I just see it in OBS, which is really funny. All right. Well, let's just move along here. We can until you send me these private photos, I just don't know what we're talking about. Are we talking about aliens? Like, these are private because, like, the military said don't release them? What are we talking about here? You just be a little bit more upfront, please, about what these private photos are. I mean, just because they're private doesn't mean you can't give a little bit of a description. Am I right? Private, as far as I'm concerned, just means like you only share them with select people. But, you know, if you gave me a little description of what's going on, I might be interested. But there's no description. There's nothing here. Like, ooh, check out my private photo. I took this picture while I was at the Pentagon or something like that, you know. Private photos from my Eyes Wide Shut party. See, that's right. That's where I think you're going with these photos. But I don't know. Could be aliens. You never know. Just let me know. Little description, please. All right. So yeah, school. I got school to do, and gotta work on some project stuff here over the next week. So I should be done with that by Tuesday. So you should be getting a Wednesday and Friday next week episode as well. I haven't figured out a holiday schedule. I did say I'm taking the next week off or whatever, but look, I'll be open too. I'm applying for some jobs, so this scheduling may or may not change in the future, in the near future. Maybe like New Year's. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what's going on. Got to make that money. I need to make money. These guitars aren't paying for themselves. No, for real though, I have not. I need to make money. This channel is not monetized, so that's something I was hoping to get done, which I didn't accomplish that goal, but it's still I'm still moving in that direction, just like a way slower process than I anticipated. Oh, I remembered what I was gonna say. Pat and I tried again to get Zoom set up, and we had one successful test, and then it all fell apart after that. And it makes me want to do things in Minecraft. If you catch my drift. It's just really frustrating. It should not be this difficult. I have been talking about how back in the day, Pat and I used to use what was it called? Soundflower for like audio routing, and I used to get irritated with that because it was just like, why do I need this third party thing? And like, here I am like 15 years later, and I wish I had Soundflower to use for this. I mean, there's something going on. I don't know. It's frustrating that I have not been able to get this set up because the idea of doing Zoom calls and, you know, interviews or just conversations with people, I was really hoping would boost this channel a little bit. And it's just been really hard to get that taken care of. So I personally need to, like I was mentioning, I need some income. I need to be working somehow. If it's this, if it's doing contract work, whatever. And so, yeah, I don't know. The future of this channel, it's not going anywhere. I will always post music videos and other stuff like that. The conversation around live streaming, I would still like to do this, but it just depends on how things are working out, you know. So, and even if I stop doing like weekly live streams. I'll still go on every once in a while. I'll do live music and stuff like that. I set myself up to be able to do this, even if it's just on the fly or whatever. So, anyways, still want to know what those private photos are. They like, are these private photos? Did they spend a lot of money and get VIP passes to Firefest or something? I don't know. All right, so I got some news to talk about. You probably have heard about this so far over the last couple of days, but of course I don't go on every day. So, but I really wanted to talk about this because this is huge news in regards to the world of entertainment, Disney specifically, but the Bobs. Bob Chapek, the previous CEO of Disney was Bob Iger, who is pictured here on the left in the light gray sweater. And Bob Chapek used to be the head of the parks division for Disney. And Bob Iger decided to step aside. He decided to retire, and he passed along Disney CEO position to. He recommended Bob Chapek for the position. Now, over the last handful of years, Bob Chapek has been there for 3 years now, and he had the unfortunate circumstance of dealing with COVID for one. There was the Scarlett Johansson lawsuit because of COVID and streaming, which I think has set an actual precedent for companies and actors, because the whole lawsuit revolved around when Scarlett Johansson had made her contract to do the Black Widow movie. There's usually back-end deals, so you get a percentage of ticket sales or merchandising or things like that. And if in this specific situation with Black Widow, they didn't put it in theaters because they just put out Disney Plus. Theaters were not open due to COVID, and so they put it out on Disney Plus, and Scarlett Johansson missed out on a large paycheck. Now, I get where people are coming from, being irritated that a rich person doesn't make more money. Like somebody like Scarlett Johansson, who makes millions of dollars per film, and missed out on millions more. I understand that. I do understand that. Our capitalist society is strange in that way. Or we can all have varying opinions about other people's success or whatever. But the reality of the business dealings is that money was essentially taken from her in that regard of them not releasing in theaters and negating parts of her contract. So Bob Chapek had to deal with all of that. I don't remember how it all worked out. It's been a while. I do think Scarlett Johansson has settled the dispute, and I think she's worked with Disney since. Did she didn't do Black Widow's voice in What If, right? Was that Lake Bell? I think that was Lake Bell. So there was the Scarlett Johansson thing. COVID affected so much stuff. The other big thing was the Don't Say Gay bill in Florida, where he wasn't gonna. Somebody who doesn't have the finesse that like a Bob Iger has, for example, was not gonna please everybody. And Bob Chapek definitely did not please most people in that scenario. He pissed off Florida, then he pissed off the LGBT community, particularly Disney employees and stuff like that. So he had a rough time there. And over the course of his 3 years there, Disney has seen a decline in revenue. I think they were, if I remember correctly, like $1 billion short of expectations for this last year, for a lot of reasons. So a couple of months ago, Disney re-upped Bob Chapek's contract for another 3 years. I think it was. And then, sorry, I forget which day this was. It was last week. No, it was Sunday, wasn't it? I think it was Sunday. It might have dropped over the weekend. Yeah, Disney announced that Bob Iger was pretty much effective immediately back as CEO, and Bob Chapek is out. So I'm not going to say I feel bad for Bob Chapek. He's doing fine. He'll do fine for himself. He'll bounce back. I don't know. He might still stay with the company. If he stays with the company and goes back to running the parks or something, I don't know. I don't know how the whole contract works. He might be completely out of the company. If he is out of the company, he probably won't have a hard time finding another job. Somebody's going to want him. There's a lot of competition for Disney out there, particularly in the management of parks. Six Flags, Knott's, there's, Universal, all kinds of other chains. I mean, he could do a lot of things. He is not gonna be just out on the street corner. So I do think he'll be fine. I do feel a little bad that they re-upped his contract and then was like, peace out, you're out. Also, since he did re-up his contract, he's probably getting a massive payout because the contract is prematurely ending. He'll probably get a massive payout from that. I mean, they might pay out his whole 3-year salary, or at least a portion of it. So he'll be fine there. I do think this is exciting though, because Bob Iger, it's weird. Bob Chapek rubbed some people the wrong way, and I think maybe some of his political views seeped out a little bit during the whole "don't say gay" Florida situation. Maybe I don't want to when you run a company like Disney, you need to be smooth enough and play both sides, which sounds weird saying coming out of my mouth. But I don't think that Bob Chapek had those qualities of networking the way that Bob Iger could. I imagine Bob Iger probably also has similar political views, but he has done a lot for Disney and a lot of things that have been inclusive. I know there's lots of conversation to be had about, how they've handled various circumstances. Disney is not look, no corporation in America is great. Most of them, if not all of them, have done really terrible things. Sometimes regarding their employees, or with Disney particularly right now, not properly crediting and paying authors. For example, Star Wars is starting to use characters that were come from legends or whatever. Thrawn is one. I don't know what the deal is with Timothy Zahn and Disney. He did come back and he's written two new Thrawn trilogies for Disney. But I do know that the authors don't get credited in shows, or get specific royalties that they're entitled to, and that's something that I I'm an artist, and so I'm constantly undervalued, and it sucks, particularly when you work for a big company and your work is just taken and used constantly. That's a whole nother conversation to be had, but I know I think that Bob Iger, I think he was there 20 years, 15, 20 years. In that time, he did a really good job of building up Disney from, Disney is, in my lifetime, Disney has always been a huge company. But, my early memories of Disney stuff was, I grew up in Southern California, so cards on the table, I went to Disneyland a couple times as a kid. But also growing up in the 80s, I was born in 84. Growing up in the 80s, I would watch the Sunday ABC movie, family Sunday night movies or whatever. The whole, they were all produced by Disney. ABC is the Disney company. And so they used to do these Sunday night movies. I used to watch those, and oftentimes, I'm forgetting his name now. The guy, I think he was right before, not Alan Horn. Was it Alan Horn? No, it wasn't Alan Horn. Forgive me, I gotta look this up. Michael Eisner. That's who it was. I used to watch, these movies, and Michael Eisner would always introduce all that stuff. And then he was the CEO of the Walt Disney Company from September 84. Ooh. He started the month I was born, in the year I was born, to September 2005. That's quite a long time. And then succeeded by Bob Iger. So what Bob Iger has done in his time with Disney is he secured specific purchases. He was a part of the Pixar merger. Back with he was part of the deal with Steve Jobs and procuring Pixar for the Disney company, which massive move. He's responsible for the purchase of Marvel, which I don't know if you've heard of Marvel before. Just this little teeny tiny comic book company that's only made like 27 movies or something like that. How many Marvel movies are there? Endgame was what, 23? Was Black Panther 30? Dang, they've done 30 films in the MCU since 2008. That's crazy. That's insane. That's a multi-franchise, multi-billion-dollar, multi-franchise franchise. That's quite a feat that Marvel has done. And also he's responsible for the purchase of Star Wars. Or Lucasfilm, I should say. There's definitely some other big things he's done, but I mean, just to put that into context, Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, those are all Bob Iger led purchases. He's done a quite amazing job for Disney in his time. Sure, he's made some misses. I think all of the live action Disney classics is an Iger thing, and I see why he would do that, but they're not They're not good. They're not very good. I wouldn't even watch Pinocchio. Shoot, I saw Jungle Book. That was good. But I was, yeah, and I've the ones that I haven't seen, I know I've only heard to not great things about. There's also news that Bob Iger, now that he's back, he's officially back, he will be doing a town hall meeting with his employees on Monday at 9. He's going to discuss the future of Disney, answer questions about what's ahead. He'll speak from the Walt Disney Studio lot in Burbank, which I've driven by many times. He says, quote, "On Monday, I'll be returning to the Walt Disney Studio lot, a place I've always loved. I'm eager to be rejoining dear colleagues and meeting new team members who've become a part of this company, of our company this past year," Iger wrote in the message. Yeah, so he's back. He's about to start implementing new things. His contract that he signed is actually only a 2-year deal. And so he's got 2 big jobs. He's got to get Disney back on track, get the parks back to where they need to be. Oh, that was another thing that happened under Chapek, was like the Disneyland or the Star Wars hotel, the like intergalactic cruiser or whatever it's called, which sounds like a good idea, but in this climate, like, it's like $5,000 to stay for like a family, something like that, which is really expensive for this climate. And a cool idea, just maybe not something that everybody would do. But anyways, Bob Iger's got to get Disney back on track, both with the movies and probably park stuff as well. But he's also going to be finding and, I guess, training a new replacement. So, you know, hopefully we get some news. Well, I mean, not hopefully, we will get some news in the next probably year and a half or two about potential candidates that might be primed to take over Disney here in the next 2 years. It's not a lot of time to get that much done, like in regards of, like, you know, if he was producing movies or whatever, 2 years is like he'd get one movie done in that time frame. But I think he can get a lot of stuff done within the Disney company. So, yeah. I don't know. What do you guys think? Does this mean anything to you? Do you care about the Bobs at all? Are you excited about the direction Disney might be taking? I think I'm excited about the potential of where Disney might be going. And, you know, things haven't been working, so if you're a business and things aren't working, you gotta adjust. And unfortunately for Bob Chapek, adjusting for Disney was bringing Bob Iger back. So, anyways, let's do a quick commercial break, and I'll come back and we'll talk about the last 2 things that I have. I'm going to talk about Andor for a little bit, and then I watched the first 2 episodes of Wednesday on Netflix. So we'll do a quick commercial break, and then we will come back and talk about those.
I'm Richard from Richard's Pet Wedding Facilities, and I give these stickers away at every pet wedding. The kids love them too. This bag from, what's his name? Wild Dinosaur? Weren't they all wild? What an oxymoron. Anyways, I like to put my special things in this bag. Plus, I'm pretty sure it's my spirit animal.
Life gave me lemons, so I sold them for this sweet baseball tee.
Whoops. I need to get rid of some stuff here in OBS. Clicking the wrong thing. Sorry about that. So yeah, let's get into Andor a little bit. I don't want to spoil too much because the last episode just came out, but I do want to give my thoughts on the whole season. And you've heard me talk about it a little bit here and there, but I will come. I'm coming out swinging. Andor is the best written Star Wars since Empire Strikes Back, possibly ever. My favorite Star Wars is not Empire Strikes Back. It is Return of the Jedi, but I do recognize the writing in Empire Strikes Back was the best. Everybody knows, not everybody knows, but a lot of people know who Darth Vader is. But that reveal, when it was new and fresh to the audience. We live in the Game of Thrones era, where your main character is dead after the end of season 1, before season 1 even ends. In the penultimate episode of season 1, he gets his head chopped off. Spoiler alert for Game of Thrones. But you got eight more episodes, or 8 more seasons to get through after that, plus House of the Dragon. So deal with it. Andor is really good. It is. I'm probably going to end up repeating a lot of sentiment that a lot of other people say about Andor. It's really well. The character arcs are really good. All of it. Sorry, I'm stumbling over how I'm trying to. In a broad sense, all of the writing is good, but this isn't a Star Wars about lightsabers and big space battles. This is, how do I put this? It's a more adult Star Wars. It can be a slow burn for sure. I do not think this is a boring show by any means. And I think we need more stories like this in Star Wars. We already have a season 2 confirmed. Season 2 is actually already in production. I think they just started, or they're starting this week. Maybe next week because the holiday. I don't know. Anyways, Andor season 2 is already in production, and I can't wait. I can't wait. The show is just as good, but in a different way than The Mandalorian. You are seeing in Andor the horrors of the Empire. You see them, how they actually, they're not just like, here's a visual representation that I thought was really good. The entire season, again, I'm not doing spoilers really. The entire season, you don't see stormtroopers. You see the Empire is present. Well, there are. There's some Death Troopers here. They're the all black ones, and then there might be a couple of Stormtroopers here or there. But for the most part, the Imperial characters in the show do not have their faces covered. They're officers. They are like admin people. They are secured. You deal with the ISB, which is a security branch. And they're human. It really, to me, and what I know of Star Wars lore, is it leans into the fact that there are only humans really that work for the Empire. There's exceptions here or there, Thrawn being one of them, but the Empire was very racist, speciesist, whatever you want to call it. I think racist might still work. So they hired mostly humanoid characters, people for for the Empire, and you see that. You see the two sides of the same coin, kind of. You see a lot of growth and human interactions on both sides. This show is called Andor, about Cassian Andor, Diego Luna's character from Rogue One. And it really humanizes him more. You get, this was a show I think most people were like, why do we need this? Why do we need to know about this character? We know when he dies. Who cares? But this show has become one of the most needed stories, in my opinion, because it really shows the depths of which, not the depths, just how bad the Empire was, and how they treated just another planet. They'd come in, take resources, and basically keep you underfoot. And you do see over the course of this season, you do see the phrase we hear a lot, especially in the Disney era, the spark of the rebellion. It's in the sequel trilogy quite a bit, but you do see the actual beginnings of the rebellion in Andor, and how they all of these. Well, I think over the course of these two seasons, we're going to see more of these little sects of rebellions, rebels around the galaxy come together a little bit more. One of the big characters in this show is Mon Mothma. She's she's in the original trilogy. She's the one that says many Bothans died for this information on the second Death Star. And yeah, she's like the leader of the rebellion, essentially. She is a crucial character in Andor, and you see the life that she lived before the whole Empire took over in general. When Andor starts off, Order 66 has happened. The Empire is in their full swing. Well, not full swing. They've taken over, but they're still working on trying to control everything. And where Mon Mothma fits into that, she was part of the Senate originally, and you even see scenes in throughout this season a couple of times of her trying to state her case for people suffering on various planets in this Senate that doesn't really function anymore because the Empire's taken over. And there's quite a bit in how it affects her, and sometimes you don't think about these things with side characters, but how it affects her family. She has a family that we didn't really ever know about, and how all that plays out is really, really interesting. And I really want to know what's going on next season. I really want to know. Most anticipated Star Wars properties, maybe not in this specific order, but off the top of my head, Mando Season 3, which comes out in February, Acolyte, which is High Republic, we just got casting for that. Carrie-Anne Moss is going to be in it, Daphne Keane, and Tommen Baratheon, or Lannister. I forgot, something Dean Chapman, Charles Dean Chapman, I think is his name. Yeah, that, and then Andor Season 2. I never in a million years would have thunk Andor was potentially something I craved, especially after this ending. Again, you go watch the episode. I like this little like spot on my head right here. It looks like I'm bald. I mean, I kind of am. But then I got the little like curly Q thing going on. Oh man, this is my Superman curl. You know, I should do some weird stuff with this. Like, hey, do you need some help? You guys are loving this, huh? Anyways, I'll stop playing with it. Kind of reminds me of what's this dude's name from? Oh man, I don't even want to age myself here at Bo Laverne and Shirley. It's like this dude that did the like devil look. Anyways, all right. So I love Andor. I think you should watch this if you're trying to watch Star Wars with like your kids or family. You know, sit down for you know, like a family watch along or you know, Thanksgiving or whatever. This might not be the one for your whole family, but if you're hanging out with friends this Thanksgiving, you know, it's not like gory so much, but it's more just adult in its nature, in its theme, in its themes. So yeah, but I've been hearing, I wonder if how much this has changed, but I'd been hearing that this was the lowest rated Star Wars show. You got to be kidding me. This is one of the best. And it's really good without the, you know, big space battles and lightsabers and stuff like that. You get a couple things here and there, a couple of action scenes, really well done. All of the action scenes were done better than stuff in other series, like the Leia chase scene in Obi-Wan, or the speeder bike, the whatever speeder kid mods in Boba Fett. There's a scene in, I think, the like last episode with all of them. Actually, no. It was a chase scene through town. I think they're chasing the mayor or whatever, and it was just like, it did not feel like it was a fast-paced thing. It felt like you could run and catch up with these people. Anyways, what do you guys think of Andor? Let me know in the comments. And yeah, if you haven't watched it, go watch it and let me know what you think. I'm genuinely curious, because I think this is, on the technical levels, I think this is far superior than most of the other Star Wars stuff. No hate. I'm not trying to hate on the other ones so much. Some of the other ones just didn't work out as well for me. Although I love some of the stuff in Obi-Wan, and some of the stuff in Boba Fett was great. But Andor is just not another level. It's a spy thriller mixed with THX. So oh shoot, I didn't put a graphic in here for this. Real quick, because I have it in the title or in my thumbnail. I want to talk about Wednesday. Shoot, I'm going to try to pull up a graphic for Wednesday real quick. So Wednesday is on Netflix. It is the Wednesday Addams series. I don't know how many he directed, if he directed any at all. But sorry, image. But Tim Burton is show running the Wednesday series. Sorry, this might come in a weird size. There we go. For Netflix, this is the Wednesday Addams series from the Wednesday Addams character from the Addams Family, who was played by Christina Ricci in the 90s films. There we go. So, I haven't watched all of this yet. I started this today, and I started it today late because for some reason I kept seeing these Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special reviews, and for some reason I thought it was out, but it's out on Friday, I think. Yeah, it's out on Friday, tomorrow night at midnight, I think. And so I was like, oh, I'll try to watch that real quick and talk about it. And it's not out until, like I said, Friday. But I remembered, I was talking with my buddy Jay, and, well, I didn't remember. He reminded me that Wednesday was out today, on Wednesday. And so I watched the first episode. Actually, I watched the first 2 episodes right before this show. And I gotta say, I really like the show so far. I don't have too much to spoil because I think the first 2 episodes just established that kind of the story that's going forward, and I think most of it's in the trailer. Wednesday ends up at this boarding school, some sort of like outcast weird kids. There's a bit of mythical mysteries going on, so expect things like werewolves and vampires and mermaids and stuff like that. So yeah, hold on, let me I do want to double check. I don't see director list. Hold on. All cast crew. Series directed by... Okay, Tim Burton did do 4 episodes. James Marshall did 2 episodes. And Ganja Montero did another 2 episodes. Not familiar with the other 2 directors, but I'm sure we'll after this series. So yeah, Wednesday ends up at this school, and it really turns into like a murder mystery with a bunch of monsters. So far, I really like it. I think Jenna Ortega, who plays Wednesday Addams, is a really likable character for Wednesday Addams. And I think, what was it? She was just announced for something too. Some Marvel project. Was it Marvel? Yeah, I think it was. She's going to play... something in the Born Again series, the Daredevil series. Was it like White Tiger or something? No, White Tiger is DC, isn't that? I don't know. There's so many comic characters. I always forget who's who. Yeah, White Tiger. That's the character. Whatever. So yeah, she might be popping up in the Daredevil series whenever that comes out, which is nice to hear. Anyways, she plays Wednesday. She's delightful in the role. There's a bunch of other cameos too. Gwendolyn Christie is like the headmaster basically of this school. Morticia Addams is Catherine Zeta-Jones, and Gomez Addams is Luis Guzman. And Pugsley's around a little bit. He's in the first episode. I don't know how much of the family we'll get throughout the rest of the series. Hopefully a little bit more, but there's definitely probably going to be more Morticia. They are kind of doing a parallel thing with the mother-daughter storyline, which is kind of nice. But yeah, so she's in school. She's meeting all these other kids that are powered up of some sort, werewolves or all kinds of whatever. But yeah, there's a murder mystery that gets set up. I'm intrigued. I'm curious to see, how the rest of the season is going to play out. I'm really liking it so far. In terms of Tim Burton, because I think people want to know. Oh yeah, I haven't gotten there yet, but Fred Armisen plays Uncle Fester, which I'm quite excited to get to. What is that? Oh, okay, never mind. The Tim Burton of it. He has been a hit or miss director for a while, I think. He's made a lot of big movies for Disney. And I would probably say my opinion about his tenure with Disney has not yielded the most entertaining movies for me. I definitely have a lot of nostalgia with Tim Burton, with his older films, Edward Scissorhands, Beetlejuice, things like that. The first two Batman movies with Michael Keaton. Those are the types of things I grew up with, and then of course, and I even hate mentioning this because one of my favorite directors is Henry Selick. Henry Selick. I don't know why I keep doing that. One of my favorite directors is Henry Selick, and he always gets passed over with Nightmare Before Christmas because he's the actual director on that one, and Tim Burton produced it. But people always say Tim Burton when they bring up Nightmare Before Christmas. I love that movie, though. I remember when it came out, I had friends that bought the soundtrack. I even had a friend, Andre, who did one of the songs as a poem at school. It was great. I think I helped him. I think I was his like prop guy during his whole thing. But I like the aesthetic of this Wednesday show so far for Tim Burton, and it makes me think like maybe get away from Disney for a little bit. I know they got all the money in the world, and you can buy a house on every continent, 2 houses on every continent with all the money or all the work you've done for Disney. But I think maybe the artistic vision might be a little bit better with somebody else. And I was talking with Jay about it, and it's totally okay when an artist is lacking their own vision and just wants to do a job. I'm not saying that's what Tim Burton has been doing, but I think it's fine when that happens. It doesn't always yield the best results, but it's also like I'm not gonna go out of my way to hate on Tim Burton. I just might not. I might skip his next movie or whatever. It's just kind of how I approach things. But I do think that this Netflix adaptation or new version of, well, it's Wednesday. It's not the Addams Family. You get pieces of it, but it's her story. There are times in the first 2 episodes when I definitely feel like some of the cooler parts of my favorite Tim Burton, like there are parts of Wednesday that feel like Beetlejuice a little bit. There's like this school, this like gothic school in the middle of this middle America town, you know what I mean? And that's like what Beetlejuice's aesthetic was in the location of that whole movie, is like this old like Victorian looking house, or like the Psycho house in this town, and then the 2 people die. If you have not seen Beetlejuice, what the fuck are you doing? Go watch Beetlejuice. That movie is awesome. And then go watch the like couple of seasons of the animated show that came out in the 90s. So Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis, they live at this house. They get in a car accident and die, and then they end up haunting this house. And then this new family from a city, like the big city, moves in, and the mom's an artist, and she's really got this like, it's a Tim Burton aesthetic for sure, like the art that she does. The art that she does is very gothy and like for the time, like modern art. And it just like it's a real juxtaposition to the rest of the setting. It's like a sleepy small town, you know, like there's a covered bridge, this picturesque covered bridge and whatnot. That's where they have the car accident, but yeah, it's really great. And parts of Wednesday so far kind of remind me of that. Slight spoiler, there is a monster in this series that you see. This is part of the big mystery, but they do show the monster in the first episode, and there are like hints of Beetlejuice in the graphics. They, you know, there's a lot more CG than you know, these older Tim Burton movies that would have done stop motion maybe, but some of the CG looked very Beetlejuice-esque, of like kind of bulbous eyes in this, you know, on this monster. But anyways, I don't have too much to say about Wednesday, other than I'm really enjoying it. I'm only in episode 2, and there are, how many episodes did I see? There was 8. Let me double check this real quick. Yeah, 8. There's 8 episodes, so I don't know if there's going to be a second season or what, but yeah, 2 episodes in, and I'm really digging the show so far. Oh man, there have already been a couple of kind of homages to the movies in the 90s too, and I've just looked at yeah, I'm on IMDb looking at the list of episodes, and episode 3, the thumbnail is already looks like an homage to Addams Family Values, which, all right, let's do this. Let's go. I'm ready. All right, well, I'm going to get going. I hope y'all have a good Thanksgiving, or if you're not, you know, in the U.S. And don't celebrate Thanksgiving, I hope you're doing well in general. Hope, you know, I hope this season can be rough for a lot of people. So, hang in there. If you need a friend, tune into Jon Does. Check out some Wild Dinosaur music. Reposted the No Friends on This Planet, which, if you're not feeling super people-y, you should check that song out. I wrote that song while I was super depressed, and I had fun. I really kind of opened up some of my, helped me get through some of my depression issues. But I took a negative and made a positive, and the video the whole process was a pain in the butt to get done. I did re-record the song like 3 or 4 times, but the video is just really silly, and Pat and I had a really good time making it. So if you're, you know, not feeling people, I hope you're open for a good chuckle or laugh or whatever. There's some other stuff on the channel too. There's my comedy sketches, Dark John. Hopefully we'll be getting a third, another wizard sketch done shortly. But you know, that'll all be done soon. So I hope you have a good Thanksgiving. I'm not going to be on, like I said, I won't be on Friday. I'm going to take Friday off for, I'm saying holiday reasons, but I just have so much schoolwork to get done by Monday and Tuesday, for my classes, to finish up. So, yeah, so no show on Friday, for those reasons. But I should be back on Wednesday. And yeah, who knows, maybe Pat will be on. We can lament about how frustrating getting the Zoom calls set up has been. So anyways, don't forget to check out wilddinosaur.com. It's the best place to support this channel. All kinds of good stuff. It's the holiday season, so if you guys need sweatshirts, sweaters, tote bags, t-shirts, baseball style t-shirts, socks, any of that stuff, gifts for people, check out wilddinosaur.com. And then finally, there's a link in the description to donate to Planned Parenthood, because Planned Parenthood is super awesome. They do a lot of great things, and the politicization of healthcare in this country is it's a shame. It's a shame. So, you know, if you got a couple of bucks left over after you buy that Wild Dinosaur merch, go donate the rest of that to Planned Parenthood, because it's crazy, the world we live in. All right, guys, I will be back on Wednesday. I'll be back next Wednesday with another episode of Jon Does. So have a good holiday, and I will see you next week. Peace out.